My fiancée picked up the phone that evening, her voice bright as she answered a call from her sister. I was in the kitchen, stirring pasta sauce, listening to the one-sided conversation drift through the open doorway. She laughed at first, the sound light and familiar, then her tone shifted, quieter, more careful. When she hung up and walked in, her face had that tight expression she wore whenever family money came up. "They're buying Lily a new condo," she said, setting her phone on the counter like it weighed something heavy. "Down payment, closing costs, everything. Mom and Dad want her close to them now that she's finished her master's." I nodded, tasting the sauce even though I already knew it needed more basil. We'd been engaged for 2 years, saving every extra dollar for our own place. She'd just started a new teaching job, and I was pulling overtime at the design firm. A condo wasn't even on our radar yet. "That's generous," I managed. She gave a small, brittle smile. Lily sounded thrilled. "She's already picking paint colors." That night we lay in bed, the ceiling fan turning slow circles above us. She stared at it for a long time before whispering. "They told her not to mention it to me until the papers were signed. They didn't want me to feel bad." I didn't answer right away. Feeling bad was exactly what I felt, though mostly for her. Her parents had always treated her younger sister differently. Gentler, prouder, quicker to open their wallets. My fiancée had paid her own way through college with loans and night shifts at a coffee shop. When we got engaged, her mother hugged me warmly but later pulled her aside to ask if I made enough to take care of things properly. We didn't talk about it much after that. Life moved forward. We kept saving, kept planning the wedding on a budget, kept pretending the imbalance didn't sting. Months passed. Her sister moved into the sleek downtown condo with its granite counters and balcony view. Photos flooded social media. Housewarming parties, new furniture deliveries. Lily beaming beside her parents. My fiancé liked every post without comment. Then came the engagement gift conversation. We were over at their house for Sunday dinner when her father cleared his throat and announced they'd decided to give Lily $10,000 toward her future wedding, whenever that happened. "Just to help her get started right," he said, eyes shining as he looked at his younger daughter. The table went quiet. My fiancé's fork paused halfway to her mouth. I felt the heat rise in my chest, but I kept my voice even. "That's really thoughtful," I said. "We've been setting aside what we can too." Her mother smiled tightly. "Of course, you two are so responsible. We're proud of how hard you work." It wasn't a compliment. It was an explanation for why we wouldn't be getting the same. My fiancée excused herself to the bathroom. When she came back, her eyes were dry but red around the edges. We left early that night. On the drive home, she finally spoke. I always knew they loved her more, but hearing them say it out loud like that, it hurts in a different way. I reached for her hand. "You deserve better than being the afterthought." She squeezed my fingers. "I just wish they could see me the way they see her." We got married the following spring in a small garden ceremony with wildflowers and string lights. Her parents attended, smiled for photos, and gave us a nice crystal vase. No check, no down payment help. Nothing close to what they'd given her sister. We honeymooned at a little cabin we rented with credit card points. When we returned, reality settled in. Rent, student loans, car payments. We made it work, but slowly. Years slid by. Her sister married in a lavish venue overlooking the ocean. Her parents paid for most of it: caterer, flowers, band, photographer. We attended, danced politely, and came home to our modest apartment where the dishwasher made a rattling noise we couldn't afford to fix. My career grew steadily. I moved up to senior designer, then creative director. She earned tenure at her school and started leading professional development workshops on the side. We bought a small fixer-upper house in a quiet neighborhood, pouring weekends into paint and drywall and learning YouTube plumbing. Her sister, meanwhile, changed careers twice, moved cities once, and always seemed to land softly. New car for mom and dad when hers broke down, help with fertility treatments when she and her husband decided to start a family. We had our own child a little later, a daughter with my fiancé's dark curls and stubborn chin. We named her Nora. Parenthood was exhausting and beautiful, and we managed it without handouts. I took on freelance gigs at night. My fiancé tutored after school. We saved for Nora's college fund before she could walk. Then, 8 years into our marriage, the call came. I was folding tiny laundry in the living room when my fiancé answered her phone. Her face changed almost instantly. "Slow down, Mom. What do you mean the investments are gone?" She listened for a long time, eyes widening. When she hung up, she sat heavily on the couch. "They lost almost everything," she said quietly. "Dad put a huge chunk of their retirement into some real estate fund Lily's husband recommended. Collapsed. They're facing foreclosure on the house. Credit cards maxed. Barely enough left for basics." I sat beside her. "How bad?" "Bad enough they're asking if we can help." "A lot." The irony hit us both at once. After years of prioritizing her sister's needs, condo, wedding, cars, treatments, now they needed rescue. And Lily's family apparently couldn't spare much. Her husband's new venture was still ramping up. My fiancé stared at the floor. Part of me wants to say yes because they're scared. But the bigger part remembers every time they chose her comfort over mine. We talked late into the night. Nora slept down the hall, oblivious. I reminded her of the student loan payments she'd made alone while her sister traveled Europe after graduation. The way her parents had framed our careful budgeting as something admirable but unnecessary for Lily. In the end, we decided together. No large bailout. We would not drain our savings or take on debt to fix choices that never included us. She called them the next day. I listened from the kitchen as her voice stayed calm but firm. "I'm sorry you're going through this, truly, but we can't give you the kind of money you're asking for. We have our own mortgage, Nora's future, retirement, We worked hard for every bit of security we have." Her mother cried. Her father grew quiet, then apologetic. He admitted they'd stretched too far trying to give Lily every advantage. He said he regretted not being more even-handed, that seeing us build everything ourselves had made him realize, too late, what real strength looked like. My fiancé didn't waver. "I needed you to see that years ago. I hope you find a way through this, but it won't be with our savings." She hung up and leaned against the counter, breathing shaky but steady. A few weeks later, her parents sold the big house and downsized to a modest townhome. They took financial counseling, picked up part-time work, leaned on community resources. Her sister helped a little eventually. Once the new business stabilized, we kept living our ordinary, hard-earned life. Nora started kindergarten. I got promoted again. My fiancé published an article on inclusive classroom strategies that got picked up nationally. We paid extra on the mortgage every month. One Sunday afternoon, her father texted her. An actual apology, long and unprompted. He wrote about grief over how unevenly they'd loved their daughters, how fear of Lily struggling had blinded them to the struggling already happening right in front of them. He didn't ask for money again. He just said he was proud of the woman she'd become and the family we'd built. She read it aloud to me in the backyard while Nora chased bubbles. Tears slid down her cheeks, but she smiled too. "I think he finally sees me," she said. I wrapped my arms around her from behind. "He's seeing what was always there." We didn't rush toward reconciliation. Coffee here, a cautious holiday visit there. Boundaries stayed firm. No financial requests honored. No pretending the past hadn't hurt. But slowly, carefully, conversation grew easier. Sometimes healing isn't a dramatic moment. It's choosing again and again to protect what you've built while leaving the door cracked open for truth. Years from now, when Nora asks about her grandparents, we'll tell her an honest version. One that includes love, mistakes, and the quiet power of standing on your own. For now, we keep moving forward. Our house is louder these days, filled with crayon drawings taped to the fridge and the smell of weekend pancakes. Our savings grow steadily. Our marriage is rooted in partnership, not favoritism. And on quiet evenings, when the dishes are done and Nora is asleep, my fiancé and I sit on the porch swing we installed ourselves. We talk about everything and nothing, hands intertwined, knowing we earned this peace the long, hard way. It's ours, completely, and no one can take that away.